Hi, Dr. Miranda. Hi, everyone. My name is Heather, and I am here to talk to you about why I think it is so important in healthcare for nurses to be innovators. First of all, what is the definition of innovation? Innovation is a way of coming up with new ideas to replace the old ideas. It's a way to improve patient care, decrease healthcare cost, and increase efficiency, just to name a few. Nurses play a very important role in creating healthcare solutions. Nurses are the healthcare workers that are part of the interdisciplinary team that know the patient and their needs more than any other team member. The nurse is the one who is at the bedside 24/7 and spends the most time with the patient. The nurse administers the medication, monitors the patient, updates the family, reports to the physician, manages the equipment that we need to take care of the patient. And so, in my opinion, nurses run the show, so to speak. So, it's very important that nurses are included on any new ideas that come into the workplace. If we are the ones who are the most present and doing the work more than anybody else, we need to be able to give our advice on any new policies and procedures to help offer any solutions to the problem. Oftentimes, a new idea is presented in the workplace in healthcare, and the nurse is not even asked what their in what their input is on that new idea. And a lot of times the new ideas come from those who are no longer at the bedside. And I myself have, in the past said, oh, who came up with that idea? Probably somebody that's no longer working at the bedside and doesn't know how things work anymore. They're so out of touch. And I feel like Atrium does a pretty good job in some areas as far as including the nurse in coming up with new solutions, but we could always do better. There's always room for improvement. And managers, leaders, nurse leaders need to advocate for the nurses and make it known that nurses need to be included on new ideas and asking what their opinion is, what their input is, and hear what might work and what might not work. So I want to say also, thank goodness for Florence Nightingale. Thank goodness that she was an innovator and that she discovered during the Crimean War that the soldiers that were dying weren't dying from their battle wounds, they were dying from disease and infection. And that infection was coming from the doctor who was not washing his hands when he moved from patient to patient, not sterilizing his instruments and using them, from patient to patient. And she was the one who realized this. And the reason why is because she was the one who was there giving the care to the soldiers, and she saw what was happening. And she was able to implement a policy of hygiene and sanitation to cut down on the infection and death. And I'm proud as a nurse that, just to be able to say that she was the one um, who noticed that was what was going on. So, you know, we were also asked to, as nurse leaders, how we would utilize diversity to our advantage. to encourage new and innovative ideas or new ways of thinking to promote and support practice excellence. So, first of all, as a leader, we need to decide what type of team we want to work on or to work with when it comes to solving the problems, to be able to meet the needs of our patient population. Whatever that may be, we have to decide what type of team members we need to have on that team. And if patient-centered care is what we're looking for, then we need to look for those type of nurses and help build that team with, what we have in mind. And we need to ask, ourselves, are these nurses honest? Are they accountable? Are they willing to go that extra mile to come up with the solution to give better patient care and improve outcomes? Diversity brings increased creativity to the table. People with different backgrounds tend to have different experiences, therefore, they have different perspectives. And exposure to variety brings more creativity. Diversity also creates faster problem solving and better decision making. When you have a team who has different backgrounds and experiences that come together, they come up with more ideas or solutions, and this helps improve the decision-making process and the results. The more diversity, inclusion you have in the workplace, the more accepted people feel. The more accepted people feel, the happier they are, the more they want to come to work, the more they want to do to improve the healthcare system and the patient outcomes. And I feel like this is a way to also create lower turnover rates in the staffing. And we as leaders need to be open to new ideas and new cultures. We need to encourage our team to share their ideas. We should support them and promote a lifetime of learning and openness to experiences and encourage teammates to speak freely about their ideas. We must have an open door policy. We must be approachable as a team leader or manager. And we must help them realize that their ideas are welcome and make them see that they can contribute to solving the problem. And this helps to promote growth within the organization and makes people feel like they have a say-so or a voice. And I know that was very important to me when I was, a nurse low on the totem pole, just being heard and knowing that what I said was important to the team and to the manager. So, I think that diversity is important. And I have a little story I want to tell before I end, and it doesn't have anything to do with healthcare or nursing or anything like that. But my son is 7 years old and he loves football. And this past fall, he was starting his second year playing football, and he and my husband were looking for a new football team. And my husband likes to coach also. And so my husband found a football team for him to join, and it was in Charlotte. And it ended up that my son was the only white kid on the team. And it turned out to be one of the best experiences for my son, my husband, and myself. The community was so welcoming to us. They treated us like we were, not any different because of our skin color. Everything was, the same to them and vice versa. And they really helped my son learn a lot about football, and they helped him improve in football. And I think they learned a lot from him also. But I just feel like that's just so heartwarming, just such a it's a small story of how they accepted him and, brought him into the group, and they didn't care, that he was different and he had something to bring to the table. And I just think that we should look at things like that when we're working in as a team, and not care so much about our differences when it comes to uh, our race or anything like that. We should just look at what each person can bring to the table, and being different is good. It's good to be different, and I feel like all we can all bring something to help improve the patient's outcome and our well-being. And thank you for watching my video. Good night.